What's up everyone, it's Vivi and welcome back to another Sly Cooper video. Now I hope you guys don't find this topic too boring. It is going to get a bit technicky, but it's not that bad, trust me, alright? Now I always wanted to discuss about the animated cutscenes from the Sly series. The pre-rendered cutscenes. Now guys, I'm not sure that I should be using the term pre-rendered because pre-rendered means that you take the characters and the environments from the game and you make cutscenes which look a lot better than the in-game / real-time cutscenes. Examples of this: Japanese RPGs, Final Fantasy cutscenes, Kingdom Hearts intros, endings, Ratchet & Clank, for example the PS4 game. Now technically speaking, the scenes from Ratchet & Clank, they're scenes from the movie, but the difference in quality is a good example of what pre-rendered means. When it comes to the Sly Cooper series, pre-rendered in this case are the animated cutscenes, not the cutscenes we have during gameplay. The cutscenes we have where Sly narrates, those ones. When in gameplay, everything is cel-shaded. As for the animated cutscenes in which Sly narrates, everything is 2D. Now we're not necessarily talking about taking the characters and environment and turning it into something that looks even better and similar in style. In this case, we're talking about two different styles of visuals, cel-shaded and 2D, which look completely different to the eye when compared. Now it's probably not the best to use the term pre-rendered in this case, but you guys get the idea, hopefully. It's not like we're going from cel-shaded to an even better looking cel-shaded. You get the idea, right? So I just wanted to get that out of the way. So to start off, I like both styles. Now if one of you were to ask me, which one do you think is more suitable for this day and age of gaming, I would have to go with the visuals from Sly Cooper 4. You guys might probably hate the term I'm about to use right now, but the pre-rendered scenes from Sly 1, 2, and 3, they're outdated. They look nice. They're very comic book style. They even use those styles in the comic books, issue 1 and 2. But comparing it to Sly 4's animated cutscenes, you can definitely notice a huge improvement in terms of animation. Sly 1, 2, and 3 had this thing called flash animated cutscenes, where you have only a few frames, and everything was animated using Adobe Flash. People used to use that back in the day. Now Adobe Flash is pretty much dead. Go ahead and disagree with me, but I just can't imagine the cutscenes from Sly 1, 2, and 3 animated like Sly Cooper 4. That's the charm of those games. Seeing that old style with just a few frames, that's what made it special. But if I were to choose between cutscenes which are animated using a few frames and something that's fully animated, I'd go with option B because in my opinion, it's more appealing. When people saw the new style of animation in Sly 4, a bunch of people wondered about an actual animated TV series. Why? Because the cutscenes from the fourth game, they look nice. And if you disagree with what I just said and completely hate the style from Sly 4, then go on ahead. What if Sanzaru goes with that for Sly 5? Is that going to stop you from purchasing the game? I don't think so. Anyways, the pre-rendered scenes from the first 3 games, those were worked on by Sucker Punch, I'm assuming. As for Sly Cooper 4, Sanzaru had a complete different team working on them. Actually, they had an animation team called Ghostbot. They animated the scenes from that game. Now Geneviève Tsai, I pronounced that in French, alright, was a concept artist. She has some interesting stuff on her blog actually, stuff I wanted to go over a long time ago, which I will eventually go over. They're pretty interesting. Sam Philstrup also assisted with some of the animation. You can actually find his profile on DeviantArt. So, comparing the old series with the fourth game, we went from static images to actual animated cutscenes. And in my opinion, an animated cutscene, it looks better than just a few frames. I just can't imagine the old style completely animated, like I just said. It's just me, probably. Now actually, director of Ghostbot had shared his own thoughts on the animation style. We wanted to make sure our addition to Sly's journey respected the fun and charm of the original games. At the same time, we wanted to push the quality of the art and animation to the next level, as well as bring the audience something they hadn't seen before. See, that is a good thing right there. Bring the audience something they hadn't seen before. Developers should always think of that. Making a game look way too similar every single time, it gets boring and repetitive. I'm not saying they should change the mechanic, no. I'm just saying they should add a few new things to make it feel different. Now Ghostbot also made the special animated short which you can find on YouTube. And notice this, it's not letterboxed. Letterboxing means having black bars on top and the bottom. Some studios add that for a cinematic effect. Anyways, all of the games add letterbox, the dialogue being part of the black bar, right? At the bottom. Why did Sanzaru or even perhaps Ghostbot decide to use the letterbox? To give it a cinematic feel perhaps? Sure. In the end, it's all the choice of the director. If the developer agrees, then it's going to happen. The director director, usually when it comes to movies, they prefer using a higher aspect ratio, one which doesn't fit our monitors, 16:9. Therefore, to see everything that the director wanted to add, we see black bars on our TV. If you go in the settings of your TV, you can zoom in, but you're going to lose some percentage of the image. When you're going full screen, you're just going to cut like a portion of the scene. You're not going to see everything that was actually part of the scene and environment. Now, about the scenes from Sly 4, there's no dialogue when there are black bars. Well, I'm talking about the pre-rendered /2D scenes. Why didn't they simply go with 16:9? I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the director and the team wanted to show a lot more. As for the in-game real-time cutscenes in the game, they most likely wanted to go with the same style from the other games, to make fans happy. As for the special short animation, they went with 16:9 for some reason. Maybe it has to do with Sony, since it's like a promotional trailer, who knows. Now, talking about all of this aspect ratios and stuff, what would you like to see in Sly 5? Do you want the team to stick to the letterbox, pretty much showing a lot more on scene? Or would you like them to stick to 16:9 so that these pre-rendered cutscenes fit the whole screen without cutting out anything? Plus, since there aren't any dialogue on the black bars during these scenes, why not just fit these lovely looking scenes on the whole TV screen? What, does it have to do with the cost of production? I wouldn't say yes, but I might be wrong, because we're simply talking about the aspect ratio, how it fits on screen, right? But anyways, I'm not an expert in this. Now, the PS2 games, the pre-rendered scenes were 4:3, right? As for the Sly Cooper collection, widescreen support was added. Instead of a square screen, we have rectangular. Now, of course, if you zoom in, you're pretty much zooming in all the in-game cutscenes at the same time, if you want to hide those black bars, right? Now, here's something I'd like them to do with Sly Cooper 5. Call it evolutionizing. I could imagine pre-rendered scenes just like the animated short, but this time, have the characters actually speak during these scenes. We don't need Sly narrating in the back. Now, some of you might completely disagree with this idea, okay, I get it, but honestly, what do you think of this idea? The characters actually speaking like you're actually watching a cartoon. Now, the only downside of this is that the game file will be pretty huge. Sly Cooper 4, I think, is around 19 gigs, so imagine having dialogue over those pre-rendered scenes. Imagine the file size. There's that to think about. I just love the animation style of Sly 4. I would love to see actual dialogue during those scenes. I don't want to hear Bentley or Sly narrating. Of course, if they go with that, no problem. I'm still gonna buy the game. I'm not gonna dislike the game. The animation itself is pretty awesome. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully I did not confuse you. It wasn't that bad, right? But anyways, as usual, leave all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree with stuff mentioned in the video? Leave everything in the comments. So as usual, I've been Vivi, and thanks for watching.